This is super sexy to me. It's like sexy perfume vibes. Hi guys, it's Xenia. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I finally got my hands on the brand new limited edition scents from Sol de Janeiro, and I can't wait to get into this video and tell you guys about my thoughts on these. I thought these were sold out. I thought I wasn't going to be able to get my hands on them, and then I went into my store and I found all three. And I internally screamed. So if you want to hear all about my thoughts on those, then just keep watching this video. But before we get into it, I want to give a huge thank you to Scentbird for sponsoring this portion of the video. I've worked with Scentbird once in the past and I absolutely loved it. I love the concept of this company. And if you are a fragrance lover, or if you're just starting out with fragrances and you're overwhelmed by, first of all, how expensive it is and just what to get, this is literally the perfect company for a beginner. Not only for a beginner, but especially for a beginner. If you don't know, Scentbird is a fragrance monthly subscription service where every single month they will send you one fragrance of your choice. Now, keep in mind, they have over 600, I think they might even have more than that, fragrances on their website. Almost every fragrance that you can think of, from high-end designers to niche. They even have colognes. For just the low price of $17 every single month, you get to choose a fragrance that could retail for even like $300 to $400. Now, you might think, well, considering this is a sample that they're sending me, how big can it really be? Well, let me show you. So when you get your fragrance, it'll come beautifully packaged just like this. And let me show you the sample that they give you. So this sample is specially designed so that it will last you until you get shipped your next fragrance. And here is what the component looks like. Now, obviously you have no idea what fragrance this is. You can actually open this, but this is so perfect for traveling because you have the option right here to lock it. So it's not, actually I just unlocked it. I almost sprayed it on my face. You have the option to lock it, which I just did right now, so it doesn't go anywhere. So perfect for traveling in that way. And then you actually just open up like that. It's like a magnetic closure and you get your fragrance right there. It tells you right there which fragrance it is, and here is your sample. Now let me compare this sample to an actual fragrance sample just so you can see how much product you actually get in these. So here is an actual fragrance sample in comparison to what you get from Scentbird. I've been using this for about a week, and as you can see, I've made a tiny little dent in it, so I have no issue with this lasting me for an entire month. Now I will say I am getting full sizes of this fragrance that I'm about to talk about in a second because I have fallen in love. So that's another bonus about this company. You can test out fragrances that you may not think that you like, and then you end up loving them, and then it makes you want to buy the full size fragrance without having to like blind buy or go over the whole testing process, because you kind of have it and you can test it out for a full 30 months, not 30 months, 30 days, so that you really solidify the fact that you love this fragrance. And then when you do actually spend your money to actually buy the full size, then you know you really love it. They have options on there of fragrances that I didn't even know existed, which is always super exciting for somebody like me, because after trying out so many perfumes, I feel like at this point I've tried everything, and so nothing really excites me anymore. So I get really excited when I see new fragrances, and they have so many options. And to make it a little bit easier, they do have tests and quizzes on there that you can take to kind of help you with your fragrance taste. They kind of narrow it down to which fragrances are the best suitable for you so that you're not like too overwhelmed. Okay, so with all that said, before I show you guys the fragrances that I got, as I said earlier, the cost for the monthly subscription is just $17 every single month. But just for your first month, you can actually use my code Xenia for 55% off of your first order with Scentbird, which would literally make that cost just about, I think is just a little bit over $8. Just for about $8, you can get a fragrance on there that might cost like $300 to $400. Right, so let me show you guys the fragrances. I think I'm gonna start off with my favorite, and the one that I am for sure ordering a full size of. I love every single one of these, but this scent right here has just blown me away, and it blew my mom away. My husband absolutely love it. I wore it yesterday. As you can see, I am way past even the label with this because it's all I've been wearing. It's all I want to wear, and I am gonna order it because I need this scent. I didn't even know the scent existed. Now that I know, I'm buying it. It is literally what Greece smells like. And I know, I'm sorry, I always say how much things remind me of Greece, but like, that was my childhood and it's very near and dear to my heart. So if something can make me feel nostalgic, I will 1000% buy it, but not even because of that. This smells incredible. So this is by Sizzly, and I'm not even gonna attempt to say this, but I'll put the name on the screen. It's Le Rêve de Elia. I don't know. This fragrance right here, this is way too good. Like, way too good. Like, I need a full size of that, like, right now. I also forgot to mention, with your order, you also will get the card of the fragrance that you got that will have a picture of your full size fragrance, the name, obviously, and then in the back, you'll see the notes, a little bit of a description about the fragrance, the scent bubble from this fragrance. Guys, you need this fragrance. It is a perfect summer, honestly, all year round, but summertime fragrance, because there's a lot of citrus in it, but like, in the best way possible. I cannot rave about this enough. This fragrance revisits a tropical forest, vibrant after the rain, filled with mythical birds and sounds. A sunny floral with citrus, ginger, and exotic flowers, combined with tuberose and violet leaf at its heart and warmed by patchouli and amber at its base. I cannot explain how amazing this fragrance is, but I will just leave it at that. You guys are going to 1000% see this in a future fragrance haul from me. This is 1000% going to be in my collection as like one of my favorite fragrances. I would almost say that this is gonna be in my top 10 fragrances for life. That's how serious I am about it. And when my mom smelled this, she almost took it away from me, but I was like, no. And then I wore it the next day, the full day. My husband could not keep his hands off of me, kept telling me how good I smelled, and it also lasts an entire day. So I mean, what more can you ask? Then there's this. This is another scent that I had never heard of. I think I've heard of this brand in the past, but never this specific scent. This is by Confessions of a Rebel, and it's called Oh Yes. This is so nice, and there's actually so much sweetness in this fragrance, which I love. This has Sicilian bergamot, pink grapefruit, wild berries, vanilla musk, and sandalwood. It starts off citrusy with the bergamot and the grapefruit, but immediately, like almost immediately, you get the wild berries and this vanillic creamy scent. This is not airy and super fruity citrusy because there's denseness and so much creaminess in here. It's almost giving me marshmallow. I don't know. This is so freaking good. I may have to also get this one in a full size, honestly, because it's right up my alley. It's super sweet without being too sweet. Like, I feel like this could be a perfect summer sweet fragrance because it's creamy and sweet and almost like lactonic in a way, but it has also those berries and the bergamot and the pink grapefruit that kind of lift it up at the same time. Take my word for it, this is absolutely amazing. And then this is what I mean by saying you can get niche level fragrances on Scentbird, because this fragrance is actually Delina La Rose by Parfums de Marly. Now, you guys know I recently purchased the full-size Delina after a while of contemplating if I wanted to buy it. I fell in love with Delina. I never thought I would, but I fell in love with it. It's a scent that I get so many compliments on. It's super feminine, but sometimes it can get a little bit much. Like, I feel like I really have to be in the right mood for it because it's a really, really strong scent. And when I did my research on Delina La Rose, this is actually kind of the tamer version of Delina. It's basically kind of similar to the scent of Delina. Obviously, it's a flanker to it, but it's softer. Like, there's something in it that kind of tones it down. This has pear, Turkish rose, softwood, white musk, and vetiver, and it is described as a poetic bouquet built of Turkish rose and transparent flowers with an opening of pear and a subtle base of softwood and white musk. My mom said, because she tried all these fragrances with me, and she said that she had this fragrance on, and my dad was like telling her how good she smelled. Weirdly enough, I almost feel like this is like a mix of a Chloe scent and Delina. It's literally like a softer, easier to wear version of Delina. If you're somebody that is kind of scared by the scent of Delina because it may be like too much for you, try this scent out because it will give you that, but without the sharpness. Because yes, Delina can kind of tend to come off a little sharp sometimes and almost a little bitter at times. This eliminates that. It's giving soft feminine energy. So yeah, those are the fragrances that I got to try out. If you're into fragrances and you've been wanting to start your own collection, I think this is the absolute best way to get yourself kind of recognized with a bunch of fragrances without having to spend an arm and a leg. It's just $17 a month, and with my code you can actually get it for $8 on your first month. Again, thank you to Scentbird for sponsoring today's video, and with all that being said, before we get into this video, please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and turn post notifications on, and let's get started. So now let's finally get into what you guys have been waiting for. I've been mentioning these scents in my past few videos. I think the scent, first of all, the colors, I love the packaging of all these. I look at these and I just think of summer. In my past few videos, I think the video that I just did, my body mist summer recommendations that I did, I mentioned that Sol de Janeiro had some new scents. In the comments, so many people were saying, because I did say that I was gonna wait to buy these in stores, and I had a few people telling me like, you better get on them, because I went to my stores and a lot of them were sold out. And I thought the same, because on the Sephora website, I looked it up and it showed that only this scent, which is the When in Rio scent, it showed that this was the only one that was available in my store. So I went to Sephora anyway because I was like, well, at least I'm gonna get one, whatever. And I go and I actually found all 3 of them. I think these were like the last ones available, so I was super lucky to find all 3. And in my last video, I also said that I didn't think I was gonna get all 3. Like, I was gonna smell them obviously and see which ones I choose rather than just like blind buying them. I didn't want to do that. And I did not expect to buy all 3, but when I smelled the testers in the store, I actually loved all 3. Now, I know that there's a lot of like controversy, as there is with any new scent. Not everybody's gonna love the same fragrance, so there's always gonna be controversy with that every scent that comes out. It's like inevitable, but there has been that with these, and I've actually been getting some comments telling me that like some of them are not worth it at all, but I am actually pleasantly surprised with all 3. I'm gonna start from not really least favorite, but what I thought was gonna be least favorite to my absolute favorite. So let's start off with Do Not Disturb. This smells really good. Now, am I the only one that thinks this kind of smells a little bit similar to Sea and Soul slightly from last year's limited edition summer collection? But I'm also getting a little bit of Cloud in here. Not necessarily Baccarat Rouge, because Baccarat Rouge is not as like sweet and creamy and almost like marshmallowy as Cloud is. This is giving me more Cloud than it is Baccarat Rouge, because it has this creaminess to it. But it's really good. It's like really soft, and it has this like summer scent in it. This has mimosa flower and nude musk, which would make me think this is more of like a musky fresh scent, but there's actually a lot of sweetness in here. And lucky for me, there's actually a lot of sweetness in all 3 of these fragrances. This is described as that first day of vacay feeling in a sheer floral scent with notes of airy mimosa flower, warm musk, fresh linens, and soft vanilla. Okay, there we go. It has that soft vanilla in it. So although it has that kind of bit of a clean smell, then that vanilla comes in and it gives you that sweetness, but it's a really tolerable summer kind of sweetness where it's not gonna drown you in sweetness. Yeah, this reminds me of Cloud a lot, but like I almost kind of prefer this. I really like this. I did not expect to like this. I did not expect to even pick this up, because I was like, okay, that's gonna be the fresher one of the groups, so it's probably gonna be the least enticing one for me. But when I smelled it at the store, I was actually pleasantly surprised by that scent. So that is Do Not Disturb. Then the next one is called When in Rio, and it's in this hot pink packaging. This one is the most perfumey to me, and this one smells super sexy in my opinion. This is wild bergamot and vanilla amber, so it definitely has that sweet creaminess from the vanilla and the amber. This daring delicious scent inspires the no rules side of you with a rush of notes like vanilla amber, twilight jasmine, luscious pear, and sandalwood. Anything can happen when in Rio. I totally get the sandalwood as well. I think the mixture with the sandalwood, the jasmine, is giving this strong perfume vibes. Like, this one could honestly hold up as a perfume. I think this smells amazing. This is a 10 out of 10 for me, for sure. Like, I love this. I haven't even watched that many reviews on these because I just wanted to form my own opinions on them. And I'm not sponsored by Sol de Janeiro to say any of what I'm saying, but I really love this. Somebody said in my comments that When in Rio is Cheirosa 40's less muskier sister, and I don't really see a resemblance with Cheirosa 40 in this. Like, they're entirely 2 different scents. I will be wearing this like all summer long because it has a strong scent to it. And one thing I'll say about these though, like the only con there, they smell amazing, but they don't really last. I feel like Sol de Janeiro scents are kind of notorious for that, unfortunately, which is not a huge drawback for me because I'm definitely somebody that oversprays her fragrances like crazy, so I just like will throw this in my purse. But that is something to note, they're not gonna be the longest lasting. And then the last fragrance that I absolutely love, I think I'm kind of tied with these 2 as being my favorite, but Bikini Season. A lot of you guys were recommending this scent, and a lot of you said that I would like this scent the best because, well, first of all, this is Guava. I've mentioned so many times that I love the scent of guava because it literally smells like candy to me. And there were some people that actually said that this reminded them of Miami Glow by J.Lo. So I was like, okay, I need that because you guys know my obsession with Miami Glow. And I really like this, don't get me wrong. I don't think it smells like Miami Glow at all, but it definitely has that summery tropical vibe, like fruitiness. Can totally smell that guava nectar in here. It's mouth-watering. It's like candy sweet, but a little bit fruity. This is almost like a better version of Fiji Sunshine Guavatini by Bath & Body Works, which I love. I literally keep that fragrance on my bedside table because I wear that to bed so much. And I know it's like a summer fragrance and I wear it to freaking bed. It's like super random, but I love it and my husband loves it. Every single time I have that on, he buries his nose into my neck. Like, he loves that scent and I do too. It has like, again, that tropical, you're on a vacation vibe, but it's like candy and mouth-watering sweetness at the same time. This says that it's a burst of sunshine, warmth on skin, longing poolside. Peak summer energies here with this juicy scent spiked with notes of guava nectar, coconut water, pink musk, and twist of lemon. And I can totally get that coconut water. I almost get like full on just a coconut vibe in here. Not anything like sunscreeny or like that not so good kind of coconut. It's not too strong, but I feel like the main things I can smell in here are definitely the guava nectar and that coconut. It transports you into just vacation mode. So this is, I think, the most summery of the three fragrances. If I had to put these from like my favorite to least favorite, I would say I'm actually like super in love with When in Rio, so I would actually just tie these as my first place because I honestly don't think I could pick either one of these as being like my first and second because I like them both equally. And then I'll put Do Not Disturb as my second. But don't get me wrong, I actually like Do Not Disturb. I just think that it's a scent that I've tried before, but I will keep it in my collection because I absolutely love it. And these are limited edition scents, so once these get sold, they will unfortunately not make them. I think if any one of these gets a lot of hype and people love, they'll probably come back with it, like how they did with, I'm not sure what it was called in the last year's summer collection, but they brought back I think it's called Rio Radiance. But that was one of the scents that came out in the limited edition trio last summer, and I guess people really liked that scent enough, so they brought it back. Now I do think that that scent is again limited edition. I'm not sure if they're keeping it around, but at least they brought it back. So maybe if any one of these gets a lot of hype, they will keep it again as a permanent item. I would love that because I honestly really love these scents. In my eyes, Sol de Janeiro can do no wrong. Like, every single one of the scents that I've smelled from them, I absolutely love. That is it for today's video. Let me know what you guys thought of these scents. I know I got some mixed reviews in my last video when I mentioned these, so if you guys have gotten your hands on these, let me know your opinions. So these are definitely here to stay in my collection and I will be wearing them on their own to layer with. Thank you again to Scentbird for sponsoring today's video. And again, don't forget to use my code Xenia for 55% off of your first month with Scentbird. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!